Hey everyone, and welcome to the Solar Pedal Collective, where we rise through shared light. I know it's been a while since I have posted anything. It's very much been fighting depression, as well as haven't really felt like I have not necessarily needed to post something, but haven't been pushed. I haven't received hey, you need to get this information out. Honestly, until today, because I would have days where I'd be like, I kind of want to post something, but I would just never get the motivation or ambition to post it. I wouldn't even record it. I would start the day having ambition. I'd have intent. Okay, I'm gonna get something recorded, and then I'll get it posted on to the site and everything to grow the channel. But also at the same time, I would start out that day, and then I would just lose all ambition, all intent, and it would just never happen. And today, while I'm sitting in work, I just kept getting continual ringing in my ears, and then all of a sudden it was just you should just go out and record something, and that's what I'm doing. There's been a lot, and I apologize for foul language. There's been a lot of shit going on in the world. A lot has been happening this year, with the disclosure, with wars happening, conflicts happening. There's been a lot. And it's only going to get worse. Anything that I say mainly is interpretation and opinion, but it's going to get a lot worse. You just from things that I have seen, not necessarily have received spiritually, seeing visually. That's not what I'm just from things, just from data and things that I've seen online, things like that. Nobody really knows just the amount of shitstorm is about to happen. Not even remote viewers, people who have been getting signals and everything. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. And even in me saying that, I don't fully know. I don't fully understand. It's not that I don't fully know, it's that I don't fully understand. And I'm probably going to be saying a lot of shit in this video that people are just going to be there's no way that's possible. That's a bunch of bullshit. And trust me, I know. I have been meditating on this stuff. I have been trying to disprove it. I have been trying to ignore it, trying to act like, no, it's not possible. But no matter what I do, I keep getting powerful synchronicities. It keeps getting thrown in my face. When I try to ignore it, or when I try to turn my back to it, essentially my purpose, shit happens. Negative shit happens. It's not necessarily negative, but it's more of a, no, you're not gonna fucking do this. This is what you're supposed to do. That is what I continually keep getting pushed to do. And I don't know why I need to post a video about it. I don't know why I'm being told that I should post a video about it and let it be known. But also in the synchronicities, it's a lot of like, no, you need to not be afraid to let people see you anymore. Like you no longer need to hide. And I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. So, but the thing that I have been essentially trying to hide from and not really think that is my purpose, that is my path, is, and I've said this before, and it still sounds incredibly unbelievable. But I even confirmed it today through tarot, and I've confirmed it every time in tarot. Every time that I've done tarot, I've confirmed it. I've asked for confirmation, and it's given me undeniable confirmation. Because, well, I'll get into that in just a second. But the information is that I am the embodiment of Ra, the sun god. And it's way deeper than that. There's been a lot of synchronicities. There's been a lot of information that I have consumed online, especially with like disclosure and everything that's been happening. The alien races, the galactic council, everything. It's all real. It's all real. And we were seeded on this planet as genetically modified beings. And that, like, all the alien disclosure and everything that has been occurring is mainly to prepare us to be a galactic civilization, because we are very oh my god, I can't even think of the word anymore, but we have a hard time accepting other species. Something that doesn't look like a human being, we have a hard time accepting. And based upon our own bias of how it looks, if it looks evil, lots of edges, lots of spikes, just doesn't have like the facial features that we have, facial expressions, body language, things like that, we see it as evil. If it has horns, we see it as evil. Why? Because we have been conditioned to think that. Think about that. All religion has depicted angels and demons, or jinn, etc., 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 other entities. Like angels having angelic wings, or wings with like feathers, where demons are like leathery horns. Angels have halos, they're auras of light and everything. They're one and the same species. And if you think about it religiously, if you think about it from an organized religion standpoint, and I know I'm probably going to get shadow banned on YouTube talking about religion, why would there have been a giant war in heaven? Why would there have been angels not only cast out, but cast out in a way to make them so grotesque, but still have influence? If they were cast out of heaven, why were they still given the ability to influence human beings? Why were they still given the influence, or why were they still given the ability to influence anything? See what I'm saying? Why were they given immortality? Why were they cast into hell to live out their immortal life? As punishment? You see what I'm saying? There's so much information that I have been given. Mortal sin is not what you think it is. Self-exiting is not a mortal sin. People can self-exit. It's not a reset. Sometimes people are actually called for like a spiritual purpose, and you can't fully embody your spiritual purpose living in a physical reality. I know that sounds weird, because they're always telling you to raise your vibration, to be in touch with your spiritual aspect, learn how to do out-of-body experiences, because there's more than just this physical reality, and there really is. And it's really hard for your mind to comprehend that. Because if you think the easiest way to depict it would be like a 3D movie. The old style 3D movies, like red, blue 3D movies, or red, blue 3D anything, where like you would have to put on the glasses. One lens was red, one lens was blue. And like if you covered up the blue lens, you would only see the red aspects. You would cover it up the red lens, you'd only see the blue aspect. You have them both there, you see all color. You see every color of the rainbow, and it pops out into a 3D image. We are seeing multiple dimensions, and aspects of those dimensions are creating a 3D reality. That is not that hard to understand. And then why is that so impossible? Like, no, that can't be real. You can't be seeing multiple dimensions creating a 3D reality. Why not? We did it. So why does that not stand to say that nature is doing that? So it's getting yourself outside that box of everything that they've taught you. Why is a rock called a rock? Because somebody told you that it was called a rock. Why do they get to decide? And then like there's so much in my head right now. There's so much flowing consciously that it is hard to get everything out. And I want to talk about everything, but it's hard to talk about everything. So I might need to actually just start doing like sessions on Discord or something that is, or live sessions that, well, those can still be influenced by the algorithm, and they can make it so people can't get to my channel. So yeah, like doing Discord sessions or something where we talk about all this information, because there is so much. There is so much that mainstream doesn't want you to know about. There's so much that the beings that are manipulating the human race don't want you to know. Why do you think algorithms and everything are so aggressive now? Why do you think markets are so volatile? Case in point, I'm going to speak on this once. Everything going on in the Middle East is happening based off of a script. It is not happenstance. It is not chance that Trump pushes, and then backs off. Pushes, and then backs off. They are testing how much that they can push and how much the market responds to it. Because as you can see, the market isn't as volatile as it was at the very beginning of the Iranian conflict. Because gas prices are still around $100 a barrel, but before they'd be at like $80, $90 a barrel and then jump up to $120. Now it's $90, $80, $90 barrel, maybe go up to $100 and then back down. So they're manipulating the volatility of the market. So when they do pop off, it's not as volatile. And the market's going to be like, whatever. Only thing I'm going to say about it. That and wake up. Disclosure is not, like, as everybody else is saying, it's not what you think it is. If they are giving us information, that's information that they no longer deem as damaging. Information that is no longer going to break their systems of control, because that's what everything is in this reality right now. Our systems of control. Language is a system of control. Finances is a system of control. Your work is a system of control. Your home is a system of control. Everything in your life is a system of control right now. And it's not breaking free of that system of control. It is understanding that there is a system in the first place. And knowing that there's a system there in the first place allows you to manipulate it. That's the first step, is knowing that there's a system and accepting that there's a system. Free will in this reality is an illusion. Like, I hate to break it to you. There is a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk of, well, the human race is supposed to have free will to make a decision that is a very pivotal point coming up. You can either choose to essentially globally raise the vibration of everyone, or to essentially devolve into survival lizard brain and be stuck in the simulation. And it is a simulation. It is a matrix. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things showing, there's a lot of things breaking down now that make it very obvious that we're in a simulation. Key point, time. What is time? We have ways of monitoring time. That's not time. Seeing things decay. That's not time. Time is the result of something. Space. You can't have time gravity. You can't have time without gravity. You can't. And gravity affects what we perceive as time. Because if it didn't, then there would be no such thing as time dilation. And so, what is time? Time can be manipulated. That right there, that one fact, time dilation, the fact that the closer you get to an object that has more mass, the quicker time is. Like there's been so many depictions of it. The easiest one, or the most, not necessarily the most relevant, but the most recent depiction of that would be in Interstellar, when they go down to the planet and they spent however many minutes and years passed for the person at the station above. Or not the station, but in the craft above. Years. So time is not a universal thing. Time can be manipulated. So why do we think we can't go back in time? Why do we think that there's no possible way of time travel? Because the physics that we know says that it's not possible? Well, maybe we don't know the entirety of physics. There's so much. There's so much there. And I know this is the shortest video ever, but I was just compelled to do it. Not necessarily the shortest video ever. It's 21 minutes. But there's so much information. There's so much information that I am being told now, you need to get this out. You need to get out, and it needs to come from my mouth so people hear it from me, so that I can be seen. I don't know. And the veins on my head are freaking alien. I'm just telling you. Like, what the hell is that? But yeah, there's just so much. There's so much information. There's so much disinformation going on. We are in an age of disinformation. We are actually in a world war of disinformation. And like the last thing that I'm kind of being told that you need to get this out on this video is raising your vibration. Okay? You don't need to listen to vibration music. You don't need to listen to frequency music. You don't need to listen to music, period, if you don't feel compelled to. Raising your vibration, changing your frequency occurs naturally, just based off of your intent. Like me sitting here right now, I am changing my vibration. If I would have done this video inside, this video would have a different vibrational frequency to it. If I started recording this video 20 feet over there, it would have a different vibrational frequency to it. Everything about the moment dictates the vibration, dictates the frequency. You want to change your frequency, you want to change what you're doing, get yourself into a different space. Put your intent into the space. Turning on, like, changing a space. Let's say a room, 4 walls, no windows, no connection to nature or anything. Very low vibration. Next to a server room, so a lot of harmonic frequency from electricity coming from the next room. The EM field is saturating your room, completely dominating vibrational frequency. You can still meditate, you can still raise your vibration, you can completely block out all the harmonic frequency from the electrical components in the room next door. You can completely change the EM field around you just by changing your intent. Instead of saying, this space won't work because of all the negative around it, just be like, you know what? This is perfect. This will work for what I need. Immediately changing the frequency. And it's not about changing your frequency and your vibration. It's about changing the space's frequency and the space's vibration. The frequency and vibration around you are what elevate you. It's what the universe sees. It doesn't see you. It sees your field. It sees your energy. Like this physical me, it doesn't really care. because I am, like, this physical variation of me is a multi-dimensional aspect of one being. You're seeing me essentially in 3 dimensions. So that right there already makes you a multi-dimensional being. You're seeing in 3 what you can perceive, but we're all more than 3 dimensions. We're all more than 12 dimensions. I don't know how anybody can think so little of themselves when all you have to do is just think, like, I'm literally a multi-dimensional being. I can perceive this entire world in 3 dimensions. So there's already multiple dimensions that I am perceiving. So you just need to change your frequency and your vibration to get to the point to where you can see more than just 3. How to do that? I don't know. Just do it. There's no instructions. There is no one thing one person can tell you on how to astral project, on how to have an out-of-body experience. Any remote viewer, medium, spiritual person, having content on there telling you, do this tonight and you'll have an out-of-body experience. They're doing it for engagement. They're doing it for money. And I mean, I won't lie, at one point in time, I might have one of those out on my channel as well. But that's just because I'm trying to manipulate the system so that I don't have to worry financially, you know? It's just those things. So I mean, it's raise your vibration. You're already a multi-dimensional being. You just have to change your perception of what you consider as a dimension. Like, you can say on a sheet of paper you have 3 dimensions. No matter how you draw on a sheet of paper, you're only drawing in 2 dimensions, ever. Making a 3-dimensional object on a 2-dimensional sheet of paper is still a 2-dimensional object. You're living in 3 dimensions. Well, you're perceiving that you're living in 3 dimensions. I need to be specific about that. You are perceiving only 3 dimensions. You're living in a multitude of dimensions. So just try to keep that in mind, because in knowing that you are a multi-dimensional being and understanding that you only perceive 3 dimensions, but there's so many more there, you're going to start unlocking and raising your vibration and seeing more that others might not see. But don't let that scare you, because everybody can do it. No one person is unique to the point where they can't see more than 3 dimensions, where they can't perceive spiritual things like the soul, or your spirit guides, or what we consider angels and demons. Things like that. Everybody can do it. We have just been conditioned, and we have been put into systems of control to prevent that. Because when we do realize it and we start incorporating it into our lives, those systems of control no longer work. You just got to get to that point. And that's what we're all trying to do. So whoever needed to hear that, whoever watches it, thank you so very much. Any support that you give is greatly appreciated. It's not needed though. You don't need to give. Just watching this gives support. Hit that follow, hit the like if you like it, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and follow for more content. I am hoping that I am called to post more stuff going on in the future, but we will see. It might just be more like I start posting basic videos and start incorporating more like Discord sessions where people can come and we can talk, have forums and things like that. So we'll see. But thank you so very much for tuning in. I hope this found you and elevated you just a little bit more. And I will see you on the next one. Have a good one.